we trust. Serving is a must. He's the Alpha, the first. This is DJ Nicholas on the show. When you hear the trumpet or the flute, know it's a battle. Time to put your vehicle in a drive, ready to travel. Like Mary, you are going to push it off travel. When the war so easy on me body, and when you come on them there, I don't much on the John them there. So long for Christ, will he hunt them there. Good afternoon and welcome to the mailbox. Today is the 1st of July, Wednesday. It's 5:30 in the afternoon, 5:31. My name is Courtney Morris, and along with me is my co-host, Kevin Bailey. Isn't it just wonderful just being here today with you? The summer heat is on. And trust me, bro, it's a whop hot. When I never heard a word about whop. It is going on terribly well in terms of the heat. And so today we're talking about the summer camp effect. Yes, not having anything to do with the heat, but we'll find out. But the summer camp effect describes the positive personal and social changes children and teens experience after attending camp. It combines physical activity, independence from parents, that's the sweet part, and screen-free outdoor environments to boost self-confidence, build empathy, and improve mental health. The core benefits are research from a group like the American Camp Association highlights several major ways camps help participants grow. Listen to these. 1, increased independence. Camp allows children to make their own choices in a safe, supportive setting, which builds self-confidence and responsibility. 2, better social skills. Being away from home encourages kids to make new friends, practice empathy, and resolve conflicts in a diverse group. When 5 broke out a camp anyway. 3, digital detox. Time away from screens and social media helps lower anxiety and promotes a healthier connection with nature. 4, building resilience. Camp environments encourage experimental learning, meaning children learn that making mistakes is a normal, healthy part of trying new things. So this is the program designed for men with guests who are men, hosted by men. And it's aired every Wednesday unless it's a public holiday at 5:30 p.m. right here on Love 101, the family station. It's the mailbox. Just reminding you, I'm Courtney Morrison. Along with me is my co-host. How are you doing, boss?
I am doing well. Kevin Bailey here, listeners, man from Moran Point in Negril. I remember loving camps. I still love camp. Every time I go to camp, I fall in love. And after 2 weeks, I fall out of love. It's amazing and a great experience with ISCF and UCCF. So, to all our listeners, thanks for making Love 101 your station of choice. We're talking about the summer camp effect today. We'll be having a conversation with a special guest, Mr. Damian Scarlett, chairman of SCFSU Camp Committee, as he shares about the lasting impact of summer camp and the organization's search for a new general secretary. Yeah, I suspect want to talk a little bit about Sir Damian Scarlett, Courtney.
Yes, Mr. Damian Scarlett. He's a chairman of the SCFSU Camp Committee. How SCFSU stand for again? Soon tell me. Damian Scarlett, SCFSU Camp's representative. Damian is a graduate of the Jamaican Theological Seminary, JTS, and holds a Bachelor of Degree of Arts degree in theology with a minor in leadership and ministry. He's an ordained minister within the Associated Gospel Assemblies and currently serves as the assistant pastor for Hope Gospel Assembly alongside senior pastor Dr. the Reverend Peter Garth. He provides leadership and mentorship to the Students Christian Fellowship and Christian Union. So that's SCFSU, Students Christian Fellowship and Scripture Union. He parent organization of ICF in our schools. He's a member of the ICF Planning Committee for Camps. and he's a young man of about 22 years old. I'm not sure. I'm just kidding. Let us hear. Welcome, Damien. How are you this afternoon?
Greetings, Sir Courtney, Sir Kevin. I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We are doing great, and it's a privilege, honor to have you with us, doing a great work. And we really want our audience to listen up what is happening. So
Yes.
it's great to have you with us. And just how you managing the heat?
Boy, it's very rough, but we're trying to stay indoors and to stay cool as possible. And it's interesting as you mentioned that. I just wanted to say, growing up, I'd probably say Uncle Courtney and Uncle Kevin.
Wow.
Uncle Courtney said, I'm 22. I think I'm far beyond that age, sir.
He only looks 22. He only looks
Right.
22. We know he isn't. But
Yeah.
No,
indeed,
but
Damien,
it's
you
great,
are
great.
maturing well.
Yes.
No, great to have you, and we'll be having further conversation. Just want to remind man and man, remember we want to hear from you. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Remember, you can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125 or call our studio lines 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. Also, we're on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica.
That's right. And so we appeal to the ladies. Wanna say, do you plan to send your child or children to summer camp this year? We hope you are. Well, we have to ask a bit about the affordability of camp doing it. But anyhow, you can participate in the program by leaving us a message via WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube. We're live on all those platforms. And females, remember, no calls or voice notes are allowed. Make them on them do that. Remember, you can text us at 876-997-3125. But only the men are allowed voice notes and calls 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328.
That's right. And so, Damien, we have a tradition here where after we count 1, 2, 3, we all say together, Mandaya. So we
Oh,
want you to join us. We know you look like it's only the Queen's English you speak, but we're going to ask you that you speak some patois with us. So after Courtney count to 3, we're all going to say, Mandaya. All
yeah.
right.
Good to meet you, go Casey, and come count. 1, 2, 3, Monday!
Mandaya!
Monday.
Yeah,
Hey.
man in the place. So, before we head into the main discussion, it's now time for us to get into the segment that we dub Draft, where we preliminarily open the way to our main segment. We want to ask Sir Damien, is our present summer camping activities too expensive? Yea or nay, and then give reasons for either answer. Is it too expensive? Talk to us, Damien.
Wow, that's a very interesting question. Yes and no, depending on how we look at it. Yes, in the sense that really and truly, when you look at just the general cost of living and what's happening in our society, there persons who plan camp, organizers of camps, and not just camps alone, but just anything that you seek to have, you are forced to make some wise and some practical decisions. And there are some things that are just inevitable. And if you are going to make it work, then you have to realize that you cannot necessarily keep your costing at the same level as how you've been doing it for a number of years. I would say no on the side of the fact that it's a matter of perspective, because really and truly, if you see camps as an investment and you see the rewards of it, then you would not necessarily look at the cost factor, even though the cost is a factor.
Awesome response indeed.
Yeah.
Excellent investment spiritually
Yes.
and also helping you to mature, really and truly it is.
Yeah.
So I agree to it. Just want to remind our listeners that we're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. You can leave your comments via WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Or call our studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. We're also live on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica.
That's right, Damien. Just for
Yes.
us to uh, have our audience know a little bit about you, but can you share where were
Oh.
you born? What was it like for you growing up? Did you grow up?
Uh,
Were you born with gold spoon in your mouth, or what
wow.
kind of spoon? Talk to us a little.
Well, I don't know if I remember what kind of spoon I used when I was a baby, but I can't tell if it's gold or not. But certainly I was born in Kingston. Not when I think about it, I'm grateful for my upbringing, my development. Grateful to my mom and dad. They're no longer alive, but may their soul rest in peace for that.
Wow, wow.
But yeah, I believe though that they have laid a good foundation for me. Growing up, I wouldn't say necessarily that I had any gold spoon in my mouth. Everybody would have their own challenges, and the dynamics of families is so different that what one family encounters is certainly different from what another family encounters. I won't say that I was worse off, quote unquote, if I can put it that way, but indeed, my family and my parents encountered several hardships, a number of hardships, I would say, especially in the latter part of their journey in terms of sickness and trying to combat and to deal with that. Oftentimes, persons would have said to me, Damien, how do you continue to function and to survive having lost two parents and your motivation and your drive is still there, and how do you do that? And I'm really grateful, as I said before, the foundation that my parents would have laid for me. Yes, being Christians as well, but they also paved that way for me to understand what it really means to have community and to build a solid faith and trust in God. And I believe that's what has held me throughout the years.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
You were saying something, Kevin?
Yeah. No, I was just contemplating losing both parents,
Yeah.
and the fact that you're still doing this marvelous work as a
Mhm.
young man. You mentioned your faith and your faith as well. What age you became a Christian, and what caused that?
Well, that's an interesting question, Kevin, that you asked there because I grew up in church, so I know church all my life. But I would say my first time coming into the realization of this whole matter of salvation was when I first surrendered my heart to the Lord at a summer camp at my church.
Wow.
Interestingly enough, when I was at Rehoboth Gospel Assembly, one of my youth leaders at the time paid for me, invested in me, I should say, to go to my summer camp at church. I won't forget it. I gave my life to the Lord August 2004. All right.
Wow.
All right. So I always remember that at summer camp. And that was when I would say my life changed at that point in time. So grew up in church. I was involved in Sunday school, was involved with youth fellowship and all of that. But at that point in time, I made that decision to say that I wanted to spend my life in this way, serving the Lord, following Christ. Of course, when we're younger, one of the things too what is important when you're around friends that you do this with your friends. So even though I made that decision, and it's easy for us at times to get, I want to say follow company, but it's in a good way. I was around a group of friends, a group of young men who also made a commitment during that camp in 2004. And
Let's stick a
together,
pin right there as you talk
right,
about making a commitment. We're up on our first break. This is the mailbox. We are going to take a break and come right back after these messages.
This is Love 101 FM, the family station. It's 5:45.
Jamaica Central Bank digital currency is now here. Jamdex, no cash, no problem. Step into a future of ease, convenience, and security. Conduct business with your mobile device instantly and without fees. This is how life should be with Jamdex. You get your free. Jamdex salary free. Use it to buy your store or TV. You can buy your shoes or 3 piece. Central Bank digital currency. No cash, no problem. Jamdex, backed by the Bank of Jamaica.
Well, if you want buy appliances for your home with the quality high and the price low, get it on a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco. Bashco. Be everything where you need. Bash quality service guaranteed and a Bashco. Get it on a Bashco that gives you more. Yeah, Bashco. Get furniture for your house, meddling in everything for your kitchen, rocks, hubs, and more at Bashco. The store that gives you more. Bashco.
Last year, over 15,000 gathered for an unforgettable moment with CC Winans. This year, Come Alive Collective presents Come Alive, a national call to worship featuring Michael W. Smith, Papa San, Jermaine Edwards, John Mark Wigan, and more. Saturday, August 1, King's House East Lawn. Gates open 2 p.m. Get your tickets now at Fontana Pharmacy or TouchstoneLink.com. Come Alive, Jamaica. This is your moment.
I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man. I am a man.
Welcome back. Yes, this is the mailbox here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. on your favorite station on Courtney and Kevin in the place. Our very special guest, Damian Scarlett. And we have been having a great conversation. He is the chairman of the SCFSU Camp Committee. Tell me something, Damian, for those who are listening and not familiar with SCFSU. I grew up with ISCF and UCCF and the amazing work. But talk to us a little bit about this organization. What does it do? And what's the objectives and so on?
All right, thank you for that. So the Students Christian Fellowship and Scripture Union, shortened for SFSU, of course, is a Christian organization in Jamaica. It's a non-profit organization, of course, and we primarily operate as interdenominational. So SFSU is the parent organization for ISCF and UCCF. So you're going to be asking, our listeners might be asking, what is that exactly? So ISCF is Interschool Christian Fellowship. That is the ISF clubs in our high schools, as well as the University Colleges and Christian Fellowship, that is UCCF, on our colleges and university campuses. So SFSU is the parent organization for both of those entities. And many individuals in our society would have passed through ISCF, UCCF, and primarily SFSU, where the mission really is to know Christ and to make him known. Really about student-led ministry, campus ministry, and wanting our students and helping our students to understand discipleship and also how we can train them for leadership development as well. So primarily in a nutshell, that's what ISCF has been doing over the years. We have been operating in a number of school institutions, more than 200 schools in terms of colleges and high schools and so on. And our impact and our reach have spread over the last, approximately 80 years of ministry in the Jamaican community.
Thank you very much, Damian. We're speaking with Damian Scarlett. He is the chairman of the SCFSU Camp Committee. How did you become chairman of the committee? And tell us a little bit about summer camp for 2026.
Okay, so my journey while I was a student at Kingston College as well, I started at ISCF, and every time when I share this story, yes, Uncle Curly, every time when I share this story, I always tell people that a part of my development and the man that I am today, I credit that as well to ISAF and the work that ISAF has done, the impact that it has had on my life. So while I was a student at KC, I was very much involved with ISAF there. When I left school and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in terms of course, academic studies and also to pursue ministry. I decided to become a volunteer, a staff volunteer with the movement just to give back and to serve. So I was working alongside staff workers, working alongside the board, just to help to bring across student ministry and to serve in that kind of regard. So following that, I transitioned and I was asked to serve as a member of the camps committee. Just paraphrasing the story because of time. I was serving on the camps committee in different roles in terms of being a secretary, assisting with treasury work, and just adding to the overall planning component of camps. And so I would have served with quite a few past camps committee chairman rather, and just in about 2023 2024, when there was a change in our leadership and there was a need for a new chairman to take that position and that role, I thought about it, prayed about it, and I said to myself that, well, since I've been here and I've been serving, there's still more that I believe that I have to offer in terms of from a leadership standpoint, leadership perspective. So I spoke with, of course, our general secretary or chairman of our board, and that's how I really stepped into the role of camps chairman. Because really and truly, I have been a camps counselor for a number of years. Our camps are held at Moorlands in Manchester. ISAF and Moorlands have a rich history and partnership, and that's something that we continue to sustain until today. So that's really how I got involved, because my heart was really into pouring out and helping our students, especially young men as well, in terms of mentorship. In terms of mentorships, I really felt that the Lord was pulling me in that kind of way, because the truth is, though we have students who come to camp, it doesn't just end after the 1 week. But these are students who come. They come from different backgrounds. You get to meet them, but there's just something that when the Lord speaks to you about mentorship, and one of the things that I have always added as a part of my ministry portfolio is the need for mentorship, and that was one of the reasons why I decided that I wanted to give back to ISAF in this way. Now, I might not have the time to be a staff worker, to be in the field, but just to serve from the position of camps, because what we are planning is that we're planning and doing investment in spiritual growth of our nation's young people.
Thank you, Damian. Tell us, what age group you're catering for camps, and what are the objectives? What is it that you have been achieving and hope to achieve? You mentioned mentorship, and is it that both male and females that they come, and how do you navigate with the different personalities and from different places and all of that? So those who might be hearing for the first time, give us a little synopsis of what's happening.
Certainly. For the ISAF camps, of course, we're catering to both genders, male and female. And as you mentioned, that you do have persons who come from different backgrounds, and yes, the complexities are there. But one of the things that we do as a camping team is to ensure that we outfit the camp program with persons of necessary skill sets that would be able to help to deal with the different personalities, students that we have coming in, because we take very seriously our counseling program, and so therefore we need to have persons who are able to, they're not just regular counselors, but they are counselors who are able to, based on their skill sets, where they work and so on, we add them as a part of our core complement. So we ensure that we have persons who are able to serve. And these are people that we are drawing from the church, of course, but they work in different areas. Government, the corporate, private sector, right? These are individuals that we have as a part of our team working with our students when they come.
Hey, thank you again, Damien. What inspired this year's theme for the summer camp? Why not KNOT? Talk to us a bit more about that.
All right. So when our camping team met, because we have 2 camps every year, in the summer we have what we call our discipleship camp, and in December we have our leadership conference, our leadership training. So when we met to plan our summer camp, the discipleship, one of the things that we were really met with was just like our country, Jamaica, was the whole backdrop of Hurricane Melissa, and moving beyond that, and how is it that we can become resilient. One of the things that we found from our assessment is that our students were also affected from the hurricane. Families have been going through their own challenges based on what has happened. Many have lost their homes, and that has impacted their school life. So we felt as if that coming back, because we were not able to have our December camp last year because of the post-Melissa effects and all of that. So this is now going to be our first camp since the hurricane season. And while we met and we prayed, we felt that we wanted to maximize on the importance of community and relationships. How can we strengthen our relationships among our high school students and to help them to become resilient? Now, resilience is not just in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, but how do we help them to be resilient in their faith and to understand that this is a community where they're able to find good friendships, healthy friendships as well, because the Christian life, as we know, must not be lived in isolation. So it was against the backdrop of Melissa. Students also in the central and western region especially, they have been severely impacted. And we said that we wanted to bring across the message that we are stronger together. And so just like when you have a knot and it's tied or it's knitted together, that's our aim and that's our focus. Bringing them back into the space, helping them to be resilient, but building on healthy friendships and the foundation that they need to have in Christ Jesus.
Oh, I love that, and I love how you spelled the not there. KNOT. Why not? Thank you so much. And we're gonna ask some more questions, but I have a feeling we're gonna take our next break. We want to kind of find out, what can attendees expect at the camp this year. And I'd love for you to throw in just your own evaluation of young people. Are you finding them resilient? Are you finding them wanting to serve God? Are you finding, or is it that our young people not interested in the things of God? Well, we're gonna talk about that. But maybe before we go, you could just start for a minute. Yeah, what can attendees expect at the camp this year?
All right. So one of the things with ISF is that we are heavily built on our Bible study. One of the things, when you hear SFSU, one thing that will come out is the whole matter of inductive Bible study. We believe strongly in the importance of the studying of the word. And so whereas there's going to be fun, because there are going to be activities, there are going to be sports, there are other recreational activities that are going to be there. But in terms of small group sessions, Bible study sessions, we are going to be looking at the whole matter of faith. How do you strengthen your faith as a Christian? What does it mean to be a disciple, a follower of Christ? And we understand the realities that young persons are facing right now. So one of the things that we're hoping to do, we are going to be zoning in on mental health. the correlation between faith and mental health, because again, coming out of the aftermath of Melissa, we also want to touch on that. That's something that you'll always hear when we are having conversation. It's a I won't say it's a new phenomenon, but you hear about
Damian, just a pause there. When we
Yeah.
come back, we're gonna let you finish up. Very important, but we're gonna take our break. Kevin and Courtney in the place, speaking with Damian, Scarlett. We go to the studio. We'll be right back after this.
I am a man, yes.
This is Love 101 FM, the family station. It's 6 o'clock.
This Thursday, July 2, on the Truly Marvelous program, To Have and to Hold, join Dr. Colleen Beckles and Reverend Dallin Tissant for a very timely conversation about sports affecting you and your spouse. With the current excitement of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, most fans can be carried away with the passion for their teams. However, problems can arise when sports begin to take priority over a spouse or family responsibilities. Join us as we dive into the discussion this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. right here on the Truly Marvelous program, only on the family station, Love 101.
Get your tickets now. Don't miss Come Alive, a national call to worship this Emancipation Day, August 1, 2026.
Limited special offer tickets available now
At Love 101 FM, Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Prices are as follows. General admission $7,000, VIP $22,000, and VVIP $32,000. Secure your tickets early and be part of a powerful night of worship, music, and impact.
Limited special offer tickets available now
At Love 101 FM, Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man. I am a man.
Welcome back to the program, The Mailbox. I'm Pastor Courtney Morrison, sitting in with co-host Kevin Bailey. Our guest this afternoon is Mr. Damian Scarlett. He's the director of SCFSU and chairman for the ICF camps. He is the chairman of SCFSU camp committee. Damian, we're talking a bit about the why not, which is the theme. We're talking about what we can expect. We're talking about, just what will be happening with the youngsters. I believe we spoke about the age group that can come.
Yeah.
But before that, you started, if Kevin can remind us, you started a discourse, if we can continue from there.
Yes, and especially about faith and mental health.
Right. One of the things that I have been saying to the team is that our Christianity ought not to be seen just within a box or within a vacuum. And whereas we are called to disciple young Christians, we also recognize that these individuals, when they come, that they are also faced with a number of challenges. Now, we are not able to take on everyone's all the issues, and there's a way in which how we can operate in terms of what we can handle or not handle. These are individuals who are coming from different family background, different church groups as well. So we are mindful about that. But one of the things too is that we have to cater to the holistic man, as we would say. That Christianity is not just strictly Bible, as much as Bible is important, but is that how is it that you can tap into the other areas of life to help with their overall development. And that's one of the things that we want to do as well, because we do know that I didn't come with the statistics tonight, but a number of our young persons are facing mental health challenges, if whether we believe it or not. Whether it's from the economic pressures, whether it is stemming from the communities that they're in, or just what the family dynamic, they are going through that. And one of the things that we are hoping to do is to help to to help them to unpack that, how to identify some of the triggers. And we're going to be bringing in an expert that will help to guide that session. Now, of course, the entire camp won't be built around that. But what we think is that if we're able to touch on this important area, at least we'd have started the work. And we are going to be observing, and whereas we need to make the referrals, we will do that in terms of contacting families, contacting church groups, because within the camping space, and I'm sure you'd have experienced it, that at some point in time you have students who feel as if that they have been carrying a burden and they want a space that they can speak about it and someone who they can trust as well.
No, you're so correct, and I'm so excited to hear about that. Without mental health, there's no good health at all. Alvarine says, good evening, Pastor Morrison, Brother Bailey, and everyone listening in. Good afternoon, gentlemen. The question I want to find out is just your assessment of our current young people. Sometimes senior citizens and other people are saying, it seems that young people are not interested in things of God, and they're not interested with faith and all of that. What's your assessment and evaluation of our young people, having working with them and being in the trenches, Damian?
Right. What I find is that most of our young persons, they have some amount of knowledge about God. And when you check their background, there's some kind of Christian discipline or foundation that has always been there. As to whether that foundation has carried them all the way through to where they are in life, that is another thing. I do believe as well that people have that kind of reverence for God, but as they grow older and trying to figure out life on their own, and of course dealing with the pressures that are there, whether it's peer pressure or so on, they're struggling to find themselves. And when they get to a certain age, especially in their teenage years, trying to figure out about their identity and their purpose, that is where I believe that there is a problem. Now, I won't say that a lot of persons, they have on their mind, as a young person that is, in terms of wanting to serve God. There are those who have that kind of desire, but what I find as well, and what works, especially for me and what I have seen, is the whole concept of building healthy relationships. Whether it's from a parachurch organization or ministry, or the church itself, if we want to understand how our young people think, we have to be within the space that they are, and to understand that, okay, then a young man or young woman responds this way because they're exposed to this kind of reality. Now, I am not telling anyone that they must go and listen to the songs that they're listening to. However, there is some kind of benefit, and I think we have to be real as leaders within the church, that if we're going to make impact, we have to understand the culture that our young persons are living in. The culture that we're living in now, or the day and age that we're living in now, is perhaps different from the day and age that adults were exposed to.
Generation gap.
Yeah, the generation gap. And so I believe that if we spend time building healthy relationships with our young persons, would reach a far better way in terms of having that kind of impact. Now, I'm not saying that preaching the word is not important. Preaching the word is good, but sometimes you have to maybe take it outside of the four walls of the church. Take somebody to lunch, bring them to your space, find out more about who they are. And then through that, you're now able to make that kind of impact, and the word of God will become evident in that space.
You know, Damian, I'm listening to you and I applaud you. Far too often, I probably should ask your opinion on this. Yeah. Do you believe that we older ones, want to pepper and salt in our, are trying to get our youngsters, let me refer to them as David, to wear our armor, as in we are Saul, instead of allowing them to walk the way that God wants them to? We were young once, and we
Yeah.
knew what it was like. So, your opinion on that? Is it that we are trying to get David to wear Saul's armor?
Wow. Uncle Corny, why you ask for that question? All right, but let me preface it by putting it this way. And for me, as a young man growing up, I also had to understand this as well. Sometimes when we're at the youth age, we might feel as if that our adults or our seniors do not have our best interest at heart. One of the things that we must realize, young leaders must also realize that as well, is that just as how our seniors, the adults, they have the wisdom, they have the experience, they know how to, or ought to know how to impart that kind of knowledge. Adults need the younger ones, and the younger ones also need the adults and that kind of guidance. And we have to set that kind of preference and foundation from before. What I think though is that sometimes we get caught up in the moment because we want the younger ones to operate and to be like the seniors, where whereas you can look into somebody's life and say, well, I appreciate that about this individual. I've seen this kind of discipline in this individual. I can take from that. But at the end of the day, I think that we must allow individuals not only to find themselves, but it requires proper guidance, but we must allow them to be who God has called them to be. Because the truth of the matter is that you can only be yourself. You can only do what it is that God has equipped you with, the kind of skill set and how you are called to function. And I believe that if we're able to do that, we would see a greater partnership with both seniors and also the younger ones as well. Because at the end of the day, we all need each other. And for ministry to be effective, we need to see from both side of the fence or both perspective. You can put it that way. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Damian. Pretty comprehensive.
Yeah.
Because, this is a program where we challenge, encourage, empower boys to men. Want your perspective on how do we get our churches to embrace more males and for them to stay and be active in the things of God, to grow. Since we're having this perennial chat, what are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting because this morning when I got up as a part of my reflection, I was reading an article that I came across about the importance of men's fellowship and men's ministry and how vital that it is to the church and the growth of the church. And I would bring that back down to say that mentorship and mentoring men is vital, right? And I think we also as churches, we need to look at the components or the dynamic of our congregations and to see how we can come alongside to help to equip younger men and older men, right? I think that's what worked for me, and that's why I can only speak about that. If we are able to find a model that works and stick to that model, it might take us a longer time, but the truth of the matter is that this is kind of investment, spiritual investment that is needed, right? We know that the dynamics of our churches, when we talk about the composition of membership, some churches you'll see more females in the churches compared to men. One of the things I believe that as leaders of congregation is that we have to sit down and ask ourselves the hard questions. What are we doing that is working for us? And then we have to also assess what are we doing that is not working for us. And the things that are not working for us, that's where we now need to make the decision and to say that, all right, we're going to have to change this if we're going to reach men. The same, the things that we do, how ladies function, and we love our women and we love our ladies and what they do. The reality is that men are not going to function and operate in the same way. right?
Right.
So we have to take those hard decisions and to be creative at that, and then to see how we can launch out from there. And I think if we're able to do that, we would see more responses from our men wanting to come to church, men wanting to be a part of the faith.
Spoken as a wise man of God, indeed. We listen to
Yes.
the wisdom that exudes from you, Damien. It's now 6:15. We're up on our final break. You're listening to The Mailbox. I'm Pastor Courtney Morris along with Kevin Bailey. Our special guest, Mr. Damien Scarlett. He's the chairman of the SCFSU Camp Committee. We come right back after these messages.
I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes.
Last year, over 15,000 gathered for an unforgettable moment with CC Winans. This year, Come Alive Collective presents Come Alive, a national call to worship featuring Michael W. Smith, Papa San, Jermaine Edwards, John Mark Wigan, and more. Saturday, August 1, King's House East Lawn. Gates open 2 p.m. Get your tickets now at Fontana Pharmacy or TouchstoneLink.com. Come Alive, Jamaica! This is your moment.
This Thursday, July 2, on the Truly Marvelous program, To Have and to Hold, join Dr. Colleen Beckles and Reverend Dallin Toussaint for a very timely conversation about sports affecting you and your spouse. With the current excitement of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, most fans can be carried away with the passion for their teams. However, problems can arise when sports begin to take priority over a spouse or family responsibilities. Join us as we dive into the discussion this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. right here on the Truly Marvelous program, only on the family station, Love 101.
I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man, I am a man.
Welcome back. This is the Mailbox, here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Kevin and Courtney in the place of our special guest, Damien Scarlett. And we have really been having an amazing time. Wisdom, challenge, encouragement, causing us to process things. Damien,
Yes.
talk to us a little bit about camp this year. What can persons call in, register, where it's gonna be, and all that. Yes, talk to us a little bit about that.
All right, thank you for that. So ISF camp this year, or discipleship camp, it's August 15th to the 21st. It's going to be at the Moorlands campsite in Manchester. And the cost for the camp this year is 23,000 Jamaican dollars. And for persons who are interested in registering, they can. I'm going to give that detail in just a moment. But just to say that students who are in high school from grade 7 up to grade 13, they are able to register for the camp and come to the camp. Students who are on the last lap of their sixth form year, they would be able to come to the December conference. But for now, for the August camp, August 15th to the 21st, it's going to be at Moorlands. And to register, persons can be directed to our website, which is camps.iscfja.com /disciple. So that's camps.iscfja.com/disciple. And if they don't remember that, they can just go to our Instagram page on IG and just type in ISF camps, and all the details will be there. Persons also, if they're interested, they can send us an email for more information at camps@iscfja.com. That's camps@iscfja.com. So that's the information for persons if they want more details on registering for the camp. All the details are on our website, on our social media pages, and they can find that
Awesome. So, Damien, do you find over the years, is it that our male population at summer camps are either increasing, decreasing, as it remains stable? What is it for our male camp goers? Are we improving our numbers, or what's it like?
Well, we would have seen an improvement in terms of the attendance of males at our camps, but I believe that we're still somewhat within the 60 to 40% ratio, forty
Yeah.
percent more in terms of men. I think we'd have to find ways of how we can encourage our young men to see the program as something that will be of benefit for them. And I think that is oftentimes one of the challenges that we have. So I would just say that right now it's still at 60-40.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. What can we do? And this is the wider society as you work with young people where they are. What can we do to ensure every one of them feels valued and included in society, especially those who may not be well off
Mhm.
as others? Because sometimes we can be stratified, we can have demarcations, people coming from different places.
Yeah.
What do you think we as adults and parents, caregivers, others, well wishers, what can we do to make our young people, no matter where they come from, feel valued, feel included, and encouraged? Your thoughts on that, Damien?
Again, I can go back to my own example. In every area that I've served, whether in church or any parachurch ministry or external, I always ask the Lord to show me or identify someone that I can have some kind of impact in on their lives. And when I identify that person, my intention is to build a solid relationship with that individual. One of the things I've realized is that even through ISF camp, I remember a few years ago, I had a youngster who came to our ISF camp. I was privileged to be one of his counselors. There are many others, but I share this story. His name is David Salmon. David Salmon came to our ISF camp many years ago. And David is a young man, is a Christian, involved in his church. David rose to many successive things I could probably say. He was a Rhodes Scholar for Jamaica. He went on to be a columnist for one of our newspaper column. He's involved in government and so on. And every time when I see his trajectory, I'm always encouraged and reminded by the fact that this was a young man that came to our camping program, camping ministry, many years ago, and we could see his development and his passion for God. Where there's another young man who came to camp some years ago. His name is Matthew McHale. He's probably going to kill me afterwards, a joke, or beat me up for calling his name. But Matthew McHale came to camp some years ago, and he said to me, Damon, I feel as if that the Lord is really pulling me towards in terms of mentorship and guidance. That's what I've always done in terms of helping somebody to guide them along that path. All we need to do when you build a relationship, we don't have to be somebody who is rich, but you might find that there are persons that they might be struggling. They might be in need of like a lunch money to go to school. They need a word of encouragement, whether for their exams or so on. You can be that individual. And so my challenge then is to ask the Lord to show you individuals within your space, within your community, within your church, that you can come alongside them. Not and when you come alongside them, for example, you might find out some things that are not so nice. But your job is to help to nurture. Your job is to help to care for that person and to be with them, pray them through, encourage them so that they can become the best individual that God has called them to be. And so that would be my advice and my encouragement.
Damien, I want to piggyback on what you just said. I also want to encourage someone to
Yeah.
sponsor, this being the mailbox, a young
Yeah.
man or
Yes.
young men to be a part of this camp. If we came in the beginning, we'd have heard that Damien himself was sponsored to go to a camp, and that's where he got saved. So we're
Yeah.
encouraging churches, we're encouraging the pastors to do such. Sponsor at least one meal. We're begging, we're asking, we're making the request, we're making the plea. You may just change an individual's life, like Damien's life was changed for
Yeah.
the better. Yeah, man, I want to give you the chance again to tell us a more, again, just repeat what's happening at camp, where it is, the cost, and I also want you to share with us about the SCFSU search for a new general secretary.
Right,
Yeah.
so camp is August 15th to the 21st at Moorlands in Manchester. The cost is $23,000. And for persons who they are interested, they can send us, they can go to our Instagram page. You can also send us an email, camps@icfja.com. And then person can also reach out to me as well if they would like to do that. And in terms of the search for our general secretary, is that SFSU has been privileged over the years to have had many individuals who have led at the head of the organization. Most of you would have also known, for example, like our Reverend Stevenson Samuels.
Yep.
He also served as a GenSec for SFSU. So we are transitioning now. We have our outgoing General Secretary who has served faithfully with our organization. But now we are in the search for a new GenSec, and we are inviting persons who are who meet the requirements, and they feel as if that God is pulling them towards serving in student ministry. Then the application is now open, and we invite persons to come to lead the organization. Of course, it's an opportunity to bring in your management skill set to help to chart the next generation of leaders. It's an opportunity, it's a privilege to shape student ministry. This organization has been around in Jamaica for more than about 75 years of ministry. And we are at a crucial point now where leadership is critical. Leadership is critical. And so now we also partner with other international ministries in terms of IFAs and so on. So we are asking persons to send in their application. There's a specific email address. Let me just tell you that what that is in terms of if you feel Lord is calling you to serve as the General Secretary for SFSU. The email address is jobapplication@scfsu.org. That's jobapplication@scfsu.org. All right, so
Wow.
information there for the GenSec.
Thank you. No, we're almost at the end, but just your final encouragement. How do we encourage men who feel discouraged, feel like they have failed, and the pressures of society and all of these things? What encouragement can you give being a young man yourself, specifically males, because we're focusing on them? What would you say to our young men feeling like a failure, discouraged, disappointed, disillusioned, and want to know if there's any hope for them?
Well, this morning when I woke up, one of the quotes that I reflected on and shared was that growth comes through the struggle, not through avoidance. Right? And my encouragement is that in order for you to get to where you need to be, you will encounter some amount of struggles. Whether your struggles might be great, small, I don't know how you would measure it, but at some point in time, you will encounter some amount of struggle and hardship. But the aim is that remember that you yourself, you have to see yourself as a success story. And at the right time, you will be able to rise up from that because you have the support and that there's purpose inside of you. And always believe that purpose will bring you into your destiny.
Purpose will bring you into your destiny. Words there of Damian Scarlett. Thank you so much. Just to say, really appreciate your wisdom, your insights, all the nuggets you have shared with us. Thanks to Jermaine Johnson, our producer, hardworking producer there. To Nico Angus for technical support. And again, thanks Sir Damian Scarlett, chairman of SCFSU Camp Committee. We end the show with this quote: "Summer camp is about growth and accomplishments, not just to keep the kids busy." Anonymous. Think you're muted there, Courtney. Not
Yeah.
hearing you, Courtney.
I said that brethren name Anonymous, he's always sharing so many things. But
Very
indeed,
popular.
the mailbox is celebrating 14 years this week. July
Wow.
2012 is when we started. But again, we said, that's it for our show this week. Catch you next week, Wednesday, July 8th. Same place, same time, inside the mailbox. Next week, Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Strong man, integrity man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man.